Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for tuning into your reading. So today's reading is going to be how they see you. So your person of interest, how do they view you? How do they see you? Okay, so the one who you are more than likely romantically interested in, but if you are here for a friend or someone neutral, a platonic relationship, it can still give you some indications of how that person may see you. Okay, so you can choose from the timestamps, the thumbnails, and I'm going to pull some charms for you. I would like to thank my regular viewers for supporting the channel, continuing to tune in every week when I upload videos. You guys are awesome. You are blessed, and I intend only the best comes your way. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to the channel. I hope you will consider liking and subscribing. That supports the channel as well, and it's a good way to do an energy exchange for the efforts I'm putting in for your reading today. That being said, it is a general reading, so that is more or less like a universal reading for all the people who are watching. But if you're here, there's likely a reason for you to be here, so just take what resonates, forget what doesn't, and we're going to pull some charms for you guys. Got my charm bowl nice and ready. Adjust your volume. This can be a little bit loud. It's just going to take a second though. So for group one, for the charms for group one, we've got my precious indifferent creature. So you could be here for someone who's being indifferent toward you. Somebody could have a cat, or white one in particular could resonate just because of the pin itself, but the message is my precious indifferent creature. So kind of like cats are known to kind of ignore you, that kind of thing. I know that's not always true, but that's kind of what they're known for, right? And anyway, that's what the pin is saying. So maybe you're feeling ignored, unacknowledged, not validated to the extent that you want to be. Maybe you're doing that to someone is trying to get your attention and you're not feeling them right now, or you're playing hard to get perhaps, but there's something there with that. So you decide. That's group one. And for group two, what have we got? Guardian angel. Okay, so somebody's guardian angel could be coming through for you in the reading regarding how this person sees you. Now that's the title of the reading. How do they see you? They could be seeing you as being indifferent, but feeling like you're precious to them, but you're being indifferent, group one. And group two, your person could be seeing you as a kind of guardian angel. Okay, for some of you, you could be here for someone in spirit, but it doesn't have to be that way. However guardian angel resonates with you, if it does, then group two may be the reading for you. Okay, I can just indicate to you that your guardian angel is with you, in this reading to give you some extra information or insight regarding this, and you're being guided. Okay, because someone's going to say guardian angel, right? For guidance. I guess that makes some kind of sense if you're a reader and you talk like this all the time. So that is group two. And for group three, we've got you're cute. And we've got a little letter, and I can't tell what that other thing is. What is that? I don't think it really matters, probably. Just flowers. Oh, they're flowers. Okay. Somebody could be sending you flowers, thinking about sending you flowers, wanting to call you up, because we have two modes of communication here. We've got a letter, so, snail mail, and then we've got a phone, which can indicate a phone call or messaging. So, but the message coming through, like, how does this person see you, group three? They think you're cute. They think you're cute. And I feel like, in a really cutesy kind of way, because that's a cute little sticker, little puff sticker. You could be a little bit thicker, a little bit round around the edges. Don't have to be, but I'm getting like a full face, full features, or just maybe very big eyes, or, kind of chunky cheeks perhaps, or little button nose, or there's just something the way you dress, or just maybe you're small in stature, even if you're not. If cute resonates with you, then that might be your group. So we're going to get started with group one. Pause the video if you need more time to pick. Otherwise, we're getting started with group one. All right, group one, thanks for tuning into your reading, and I hope you guys are doing well. So the first impression, we're going to start with that. Your person's first impression of you. I'm being drawn to this deck, so we're going to grab it. And go ahead and think about your person of interest when it came to the reading for, or if you're just here to see, like, in general, how do people, view you, then, it could be that as well. That could work. But it is definitely coming across as, like, precious and indifferent. So feeling like they view you as being precious, but also being indifferent. Or perhaps, like, if you know for a fact, like, that you have a crush on someone and you view them as precious, but they're being indifferent, well, then obviously you're going to take it that way. But, maybe they feel the same way. Let's see. So this is how it's going to go, just to give you an overhaul of how the reading is going to go, what questions we're going to ask. More than likely, I'm going to only pull one tarot card for each question to keep things succinct and moving along. Because my regulars know that I can get in depth and very detailed, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's, it just depends on the reading. So first off, we're going to ask this person's first impression of you, group 1, how they view your strengths, how they view your feelings, like how they view the way that you feel toward them, perhaps, or your feelings in general. And we're going to look at how they view the emotional connection with you. Okay, if there is an emotional connection or not, how they view that, and then their overall perception of you just as a person overall. Okay, so first impression for group 1, my precious indifferent creature. Okay, this one came out. It just immediately turned over. You could be a fire sign, have it strong in your chart. You don't have to. This is fiery energy, though, coming through with Mars and Aries, Dominion. Okay. Oh, we've got two cards, and they're both number 2. So you could be a 2 life path, born on the 2nd of the month, the 11th, or the 20th. Don't have to be. You could have it in your numerology in some way, shape, or form, or this person just viewing you this way. They do view you as a stable person. And it could be that this has been going on a long time, your relationship or your connection, perhaps, or it's stagnant, or it's just at a certain place. It hasn't really moved much. We can see that, it matches, doesn't it? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. If you look at the pin, there is a person, this little alien dude is looking at his cat, and the cat's looking away. And then we see the backside of both of these cards, because they have a front side, but they came out on the back side. Okay, so that is showing that, somebody is just not looking at this connection. Okay, so they can view you as really just kind of like not really paying attention to them, not really noticing them. I have to be honest, for some of you, this person feels like, they're not noticing you, but you might be waiting for them, or waiting for them to make a decision, or, walking on eggshells. Again, energies can be vice versa or interchangeable. Okay, you decide how it resonates, if it does, and this is what's coming through. So air sign energy is here as well. Just honorable mention. So there's some thinking going on regarding decision that needs to be made or has been made. I think it has to do with investing. Where should I invest my time and energy? Maybe they feel like, or view you as somebody that doesn't know right now whether you should invest more in this relationship or less, or you don't know if they're going to do that, right? So they can also feel like, or view you as, if you are at some sort of a crossroads in your life, and if you are the one resonating with being the one that's having this crush or this romantic interest on someone who maybe isn't reciprocating the same amount, if that is something that you resonate with, then this person does feel like you experience anticipation, you're hopeful for the future. If you think this person doesn't know that you have a crush on them or that you like them, they actually do, okay? And if it's vice versa, and you feel like this person is the one who has a crush on you and you're being indifferent towards them, although let's face it, if you're at this reading, you actually care more than you're letting on. If this person thinks you don't care, you actually do. But this person is feeling like, they view you as somebody that they anticipate the potential in the relationship, and they anticipate more can come from this. And also they look at you as focusing on your future, but maybe you don't know which route to go, which path to take. Maybe there's some confusion or a blockage that you're experiencing with regard to your future, and that doesn't even have to do with the relationship necessarily. And I'm getting to that this person feels like you are very poised and calm, like that cat, right? You could be an introvert, you don't have to be, but there's something about you perhaps a little bit precious, okay, in this person's estimation, right? You could be very ladylike, very gentlemanlike in how they view you, as someone that is a little picky or particular perhaps, or just reflective, calm, unflappable. But it could be, that you are kind of keeping to yourself, withdrawn from this connection, or holding something in, trying to keep the peace. Any number of those things can be the case here. But this is about how they perceive that. So they're perceiving that as you being considerate, you are somebody that likes to plan for your future, you're somebody that has dreams. They could even know that, you watch tarot readings, or that you're into predictions and things, because it's you are somebody that looks to your future. And so they're aware of that. They feel like you are ambitious. They feel like you are somebody that is not afraid to dream big. They see you as somebody that is looking to your future and maybe even is consumed with what you can accomplish, your goals, your ambitions, or even consumed with this relationship and moving it forward. So, but they do overall feel like, you know, you are a planner, but there's some sort of blockage to the plan with this Two of Swords. So it's like maybe things got off course, there was some sort of blockage. And again, this is the first impression. This might not even be how you are anymore, but remember, that's what we asked, you know, what their first impression was of you. So let's look at the strengths. How does this person perceive Group 1's strengths? Okay, these kind of wanted to stop, so we'll cut here. And this person feels like you are a contender, like you can hold your own, okay? It doesn't concern this person that you might be confused or about, like, for example, your life path that I talked about or this relationship, because they know that you can handle, like, the competition, if there's competition in this relationship for one or the other of you, or in life in general, at work, or whatever you're trying to do. This person sees you as somebody that can handle it, okay? So they feel like with the Five of Wands energy, that is a Saturn and Leo strife. So it does feel like and look like this person thinks that your life isn't easy, and they see you kind of battling it out. Maybe with them, if that resonates, like you have had conflicts, arguments, petty arguments, things like that, because Five of Wands is kind of about pettiness. I can't talk about like coworkers trying to outdo each other, or people in a relationship trying to, you know, just be a little bit competitive with one another. And either way, takeaway is this is a card of competition. And this person feels like you are dynamic, you can handle, you know, whatever. And so nothing is going to stay in your way for long. You're going to eventually fight your way to victory. But they do feel like you are somebody that's like a fighter, that you're scrappy, and you're strong in that way. And they can see you like experiencing challenges in your life, and that life is testing you, and that maybe you even like rise to the occasion when life tests you. And they see that whenever life has tested you or someone has tested you, whether it be them or someone else or a situation, that you have the ability to go up against and hold your own. You like go up against others and hold your own. It could be too that maybe they feel like there are people that have tried to pit you against them, or pit them against you, some sort of drama, right? When we have the Five of Wands in traditional tarot, there's usually more than two people on the card. But here it's two, so it could be really indicating like we're talking about one person in particular. This person sees you having a conflict with, if that's not them, okay? Or one situation that you have a certain conflict with. They do feel like you are an active person with lots of fire energy here. That kind of like a cat. You know how a cat's very chill and they can be like just a puddle of fur. But once their competitive instincts or their are activated, or they are startled or something like that, then they're immediately like in action, in a millisecond, you know, they're ready to fight, they're ready to go. It's like this person views you as somebody that can be very active, can be very competitive, maybe a little bit restless, maybe a little bit hasty, maybe a little bit argumentative. But again, this is your strength, so this person doesn't feel like this is a weakness or something bad. They feel like you can hold your own in debates, contests, that you have the skills to pay the bills, or you have the skills to take on whatever you're trying to take on. And they feel like you like to win as well. Like you like to win. So whether you do or not, this is how they're perceiving you. They think you're strong. They think that, I mean, you could actually have played sports like in your past or be into that as a hobby, or they think that you're very strong, or just, you know, in general, like you maybe have a competitive mindset, or you're just very like sharp, or, you know, intelligent, just ready to respond to challenges with alacrity, with eagerness, and that you kind of like, you enjoy that, right? That you take pleasure in that. Maybe you're a gamer, maybe something, you know, they've seen in you, you know, is quick thinking, you can handle pressure, and it does feel like, again, that you've had a lot of challenges. If you're not currently going through certain challenges, they see that they see you as somebody that has been able to rise challenges. And it just, you know, goes back to what I said, somebody that can hold their own, okay? Somebody that is scrappy, all right? That's how they perceive your strengths, group 1, and how do they perceive your feelings? So whether they know what your feelings are or not, we're going to look at how they view group 1's feelings. How do they view group 1's feelings towards them? Got the 7 of Pentacles. That's that energy with the 2 of Wands as well, like the waiting energy, okay? You're waiting for communication, action. You're waiting for things maybe to not be so on again, off again for some of you. You're waiting for things to be more peaceful than what they have been with this 5 of Wands energy. And see his face, it's really not thrilled, right? He's trying to cultivate something. This means Pentacles, home, work, money issues, but in a relationship, it also means trying to grow a relationship or being frustrated and just kind of being in limbo and not really knowing, you know, what's going to happen. And interestingly, even though the 7 of Pentacles is not a number 2, it still signifies making a decision. Okay, it's the decision, should I stay or should I go now, kind of thing, right? I've already put this much effort into something, I'm waiting for it to pay off. Maybe somebody, you know, for those who have been in a relationship with this person or are currently in a relationship, it's like, is it going to graduate to the next level? Is it going to move forward? Or not, you know, because this is the sunken cost fallacy card as well. Like, you've put in effort and you're not sure if you should continue waiting or putting in more effort, because it just very well might not pay off, but yet you're so close to achieving something here that it would feel like a waste, you know, to throw it all away, kind of thing. But it's really kind of up to you, and this is where you have to tune in your intuition and be honest with yourself and figure out, you know, what you really want, because it's close to paying off, whatever that means for you, but it may not be, in the end, may not be what you would consider have been, like, what am I trying to say? It may not be worth it, basically. Okay, so yeah, you get what you want, but it may not be worth it. Or you're wondering if it would, and you might even be thinking about just like not doing that anymore, like not waiting for this person or not dealing with them anymore, or whatever this is talking about. Could be, you know, something else. So yeah, they think, again, this is this energy of being thoughtful. They do view you as a thoughtful person. So they kind of feel like your feelings are very patient, but also kind of like in your head more than in your heart, in terms of being very thoughtful. There is this energy of being calm, being composed, at least, you know, maybe you're that way with them. I don't know if you're that way all the time. Again, this person does come across as seeing and feeling like you are someone that they view as being competitive, being active, but also having this side to you that is very contemplative. And they feel like you are very hardworking, very persistent, but that you can question like the fruit of your labors and the future outcome. Where is this going, kind of thing. They could have, you could have even mentioned that to them at some point, like, where is this going, or given them that impression. Maybe just somebody that questions like the path that you're on when you're on it, because you're just wondering, you know, is it really worth the effort, kind of thing, because there's a certain amount of restlessness with you. So they view that, and they view just kind of like weighing those efforts against your goals. Okay, you could be a Taurus or have that strong in your chart, don't have to be, but they do view your feelings as feelings that will last a long time, or have lasted a long time, and that whatever you care about, you will invest a lot of time and patience and energy into it. But that doesn't mean that it's going to make you happy, and that doesn't mean it was a wise choice to do that. That's how they view it. Not saying that it isn't, but that's how they view it. Okay, that's the energy of the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so how do they view your emotional connection, if you have one? For group 1, how does a person view their emotional connection? Ooh, 3 of Swords. Okay. Look at the other side just to look at it. So emotionally speaking, this person is viewing the emotional connection as having suffered, and maybe there's been a split or a breakup, maybe there's been divorce or heartbreak, some sort of loss, some sort of depression, some sort of health issue. But you take it how it resonates. I think you'll know what that's referring to. So the emotional connection is split, it's divided. This is air sign energy. Air sign energy talks more about, you know, what people think versus how they feel. So they're not really feeling the emotional connection with you right now. Okay, so Yeah, sorry guys. And that's what's coming through. Now, I forgot to do my disclaimer that I've been so good about remembering to do on this channel, which is that my readings are meant to provide clarity and guidance, and the focus will be on your best interest, even if it's not what you expect. But other than that, I'm just being honest with you guys. They're not feeling, they feel like there's been a split, and I know that can be disappointing and hard for some of you to hear. But we can see what else is gonna come out with regard to that. I feel like if you are surprised by this Three of Swords, like that they feel that way, maybe this can give you a little heads up as to, you know, what's going to be happening, or something that you should be kind of on the lookout for. Or it can mean that just ignore that part of the reading, it's not for you, or choose a different group. But I feel like if this Three of Swords is coming out, then you probably already know. Like, this isn't a surprise for most of you that will resonate with this reading. They feel like there's been some heartbreak, there's some sorrow, there's some emotional pain here with your guys' emotional connection. And you know, to the extent that you have an emotional connection, it's all about feeling grieved, about feeling perhaps even betrayed. There being some sort of emotional turmoil that would go along with that Five of Wands energy. And they could even themselves be grappling with sadness. Like, if they think about, you know, their emotions towards you, whenever like something triggers their emotion towards you, then it's like they wrestle a little bit with that sadness, that disappointment, or that hurt that they caused you or you caused them. Either way, I think this person feels like a sense of loss. And if there's been loss, breakup, betrayal, things like that, you know, they do feel vulnerable and exposed. Like, they do have, you know, some sad feelings, some hard feelings themselves. Even if, for example, they were the ones that caused something, if they were the ones that did something wrong, you know, they still feel some kind of way about it. It's like they're not just happily, you know, they're just not happy with the way the connection is going emotionally. Okay. So what is the overall perception of you as a person and in general and in this connection? The overall perception of group one by their person of interest. Like, how does their person of interest perceive group one? We've got Seven of Wands. There's that scrappy energy again. And that's courage, Mars and Leo. So strong air placements, fire placements, particularly Aries and Leo here is coming through. They see you as, like I said before, scrappy, okay? That maybe you're defensive, though. Maybe you are protecting your boundaries. Maybe you have to protect against competition. Maybe for those who are in a third-party situation, and this is your person, you feel like you have to protect, you know, your person in your relationship from outsiders. You know, just take it how it resonates here. Or you could be just, if you're withdrawn from this person, as some of you most likely will be, they could see you as being defensive, but that you have the upper hand. So like, if they were to come at you sideways or didn't bring their A game to deal with you, that you would have the upper hand, okay? That they feel like you have the upper hand, and that's probably because you have integrity, and likely you didn't do anything wrong, because the guy in the Seven of Wands, he didn't do anything wrong. He was set up, okay? And he was betrayed. And this person is seeing you overall as being that person, right? Could it be the other way around? I'm not really getting that. I feel like this person is seeing you and perceiving you as the Seven of Wands guy. Okay, the defensive dude, as he's also known as. Standing your ground, fighting for your beliefs or your position in life, like whatever, even if you're not defensive towards this person, you, like I said before, can hold your own in any realm of life according to your person. And they see you like standing your ground, defending your position, whatever that position is, and like standing up for yourself. So it's really good seeing you again as persistent, tenacious, you know, willing to confront, you know, problems, difficulties, adversaries. Like you, I mean, you could be being ganged up by multiple people here, at least one other person, maybe this person and another person, or you felt that way, attacked in a situation. This person perceived you that, you know, if that happened, if it has happened, that you have the upper hand. Okay, you're very strong, you're very determined, you are not afraid of challenges, you maybe even thrive in challenges or enjoy challenges. So this person seems to feel like you are just really a tough person, and they saw it, you know, as a strength, you know, before when we looked at that. and to seeing you being very resilient and courageous and just unyielding in what you value. Like, you stand by your values. Like, you're not wishy-washy. You're not wobbling. Like, you know what you want. You're going to stand by that. You're not going to accept anything less. And you have yourself on the pedestal, whether you always did or not. It's like you have yourself on the pedestal. So your self-concept is banging according to your person. Your self-concept is good. Like, you have high self-esteem. But also there's some insecurity because he is defensive because he feels insecure, right? And it's not saying that this guy on the card doesn't have reason to be feeling that way. Likely, if that's you, you do have reason to be feeling that way. But it's unfortunate that, you know, your strength and courage had to be triggered as a result of, you know, people not treating you with respect or the transparency and the honesty that they should have. Okay, so yeah, very, that's what we got. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It does support the channel and help to keep it going. Keeps me coming back to do more readings for you guys. I think that link for the $1 for 5 minutes on Keen is still working, so check that out if you haven't already. And if you'd like a private reading from, you know, me with the video recorded readings, you can get one from me on Keen as well. But from the video recorded readings, that's linked down below as well. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Stick around for group 2 and 3 if you feel guided to. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. All right, group 2, thanks for tuning into your reading. So if you chose Guardian Angel, this reading is for you. It'll be interesting to see how this person sees you in light of your charm being Guardian Angel, or if your Guardian Angels themselves want to come out in the reading. So go ahead and think about your person of interest, the one that you came to the reading for. And disclaimer, my readings are meant to provide clarity and guidance, and the focus will be on your best interest, even if it's not what you expect. We're going to look at, you know, how this person sees you, how they view you, and how that's going to look is we're going to ask, you know, their first impression of you, how they view your strengths, how they view your feelings, how they view the emotional connection, if there is one, and how they view the overall, like their overall perception of you as a person and stuff. So we're going to look at that. Some of you could have walked away from this person, or they walked away from you, or there's been some sort of change after some sort of disillusionment or disappointment where one is realizing, hey, I need to change something because I'm not happy in this situation, or this person isn't who I thought they were, or the situation isn't what I thought it was. Okay? Just know you were divinely guided to make that change, or that change had to happen. If that's your story, let's see. So, for those who chose group 1, their person of interest. Well, I'm sorry, group 2. If I say group 1, don't trip. It's group 2. You know, you see your charm here. We know that we're on group 2. But some of you from group 1 may have stuck around, which is fine. How does group 2's person of interest, how did they view group 2 when they first met group 2? What was their first impression of group 2 when they met group 2? Nice. Wow. 2 of Cups. I think you really rock this person's world, okay? I think you really rock this person's world. I'm getting that Michael Jackson song. You rocked my world, you know you did. So, 2 of Cups. A lot of attraction right off the bat. More than likely, you know, you're here for a romantic partner, a romantic interest. I said in the intro that you could be here for someone else. So just apply it, you know, how it resonates. But bottom line with the Two of Cups is that this person looked at you as somebody that they could love. Okay, it's almost a love at first sight kind of vibe that I'm picking up on, if I'm being completely honest. As you can see on the card, you know, Prince Lear, when he met Lady Amalthea, he did immediately, like it was first love at first sight for him. Okay, it took her a little bit longer, so maybe that was your story. Maybe it took you a little bit longer to feel exactly the same, but they automatically, like immediately, and thought that you felt the same way as them, that you guys had a special connection, that this could lead to love, partnership, proposal, marriage, like very romantic thoughts right off the bat, you know, very early on. and since this is the card asking about, you know, their first impression of you, for them to have already saw you as somebody that could be their life partner, somebody with whom they can fall in love, somebody that would feel the same way about them as they felt about you, you know, they really had some really highly romantic feelings towards you right off the bat. That was their first impression. So that's Venus in Cancer. Somebody could have that strong in their chart, don't have to, but love. Their first impression of you was love. They loved you. Like, they loved you. Like, how can somebody love you when they first meet you? Maybe they just loved the way you looked. Maybe you guys just met for the first time, and when you guys locked eyes, you guys both felt that. It's like, this is somebody I've met before, or, I mean, if, you know, it happens. People, like, with the really active heart chakra, or really elevated people, but anyone really can feel that feeling of feeling love for someone. That's where that whole phrase comes from, love at first sight. So, and maybe they felt like you felt the same way again, because this is a card of reciprocation. So it's like, when our eyes met, when we met, I felt like you were somebody that I could love, or already did feel some kind of strange, like, otherworldly kind of love for. And I also feel like you feel the same way. That's kind of like how they felt. So they felt right off the bat deeply connected to you, harmonious, like you could be their partner, that you're the one that they could come into union with. Likely there was some rose-colored glasses going on here, but maybe not necessarily, you know. Not necessarily. People don't just feel strong feelings like this for no reason, but this card can say that, you know, because it's so highly romantic, this energy. You know, when we get into the realm of high romanticism, there's always that potential that to some degree it's rose-colored glasses, but you decide, right? You know what it was like when you first met this person. They felt like a strong heart-centered connection to you, so they did feel like a warmth from you and a warmth with you, and they felt like you were inviting and that it was safe and comfortable to be in your presence, to be in your energy, in your aura. They felt like, you know, with you they could be, you know, gentle, like a gentleman, or you could be like a lady with them, you know, depending on, you know, who's watching. Use the pronouns that fit, but that's the whole point, is like the gentle person, right? That you guys were gentle with each other, and you just brought them a lot of peace and a lot of happiness, and they saw you as somebody that was likable, somebody that was approachable, and somebody that was empathetic and nurturing, and all the things we think of when we think of Cancerian energy. You know, high vibrational Cancerian energy, and they just felt like, yeah, definitely. So we're skipping ahead, because one of the cards in the future, later in the reading, will be about your emotional connection. It'll be interesting to see how they view the emotional connection now, because back then they definitely felt a strong emotional connection with you, a strong intimacy with you. And it looks like things moved fast, romantically speaking. Like, if you didn't technically get in a relationship or start dating right away, or perhaps in some cases even got intimate very soon, there was that feeling there, though, that should be happening, okay? Because of the emotional connection was so strong. There was a genuine care. They saw you as genuinely caring, that you cared for others, and that you are a lovely person, just a lovely person, you know, because this is Venusian energy as well. So somebody could be Libra or Taurus as well. But either way, they just felt like, you know, there was something that you brought to the table, like you both balanced each other out in some way. It felt very natural. It felt very harmonious. They felt very charmed by you, that this connection was warm. They wanted to cooperate with you. They wanted to get along with you. I mean, it just came natural to them. You just kind of inspired each other. They felt like, again, this is mutual. When you first met, there was a loving connection, and you felt like kind of being both on your best behavior, but not even doing it consciously. It's just something that you both just wanted to do naturally, because that's what you brought out in one another. It's like tact and harmony and gentility and all of these wonderful, beautiful things. So I'm really loving this card for you guys to come out. At least, you know, for the first impression. Hopefully we'll see what else comes out in the reading, but this is what's coming through, that they viewed you as somebody who was empathetic, and that you understood your emotions as well, like having emotional maturity, even complex emotional maturity, that if you guys were in a complex relationship where it's complicated, or you guys, like this person saw you dealing with complex issues, they viewed you as somebody that had a lot of emotional maturity to navigate that. So I think that impressed them, and they just felt like, you know, you fulfilled them, really, that there was a deep connection, that there was a mutual understanding and respect in your relationship on that first impression. So that was something they could have with you, that's what you brought to the table, that's what you made them feel like bringing to the table. Okay, so they really felt like enriched with you, like they met their soulmate, like maybe like you were their guardian angel, like you came into their life at like precisely the right moment. Okay, I know I did a lot of talking there, but I mean, I want to give justice to the Two of Cups when it comes to this person and how they viewed you when they first met you. We always are very elaborate as readers when there is something, difficult. I feel like we can be just as elaborate or more so elaborate when there is, an easier card that comes out, like a more favorable one, right? Okay, so let's move on to this person's strengths. Like, how do they view your strengths? This person, your person of interest, how do they view Group 2's strengths? Aw. Like, aw. Are you serious? Aw. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We've got the Six of Cups. They definitely view you, past and present, as a lover. And that you are a strong person in that. You could very well be a water sign or have that strong in your chart. They view you as somebody like you're a unicorn, you're rare, you're unique, you're different, you're special. Like they might have been waiting for somebody like you their whole life. They might have given up hope that they would ever meet someone like you. Somebody that touched their heart, somebody that felt like a soulmate. This is no exaggeration. This is what these cards mean together here. I am still saying that somebody perhaps walked away or there's been a change as a result of something not actually being what it seemed to be. Again, because I mentioned rose-colored glasses potential here, but that doesn't change the fact that this person feels like a strong soulmate connection with you, like they knew you before. There was some sort of soulmate recognition here when you first met, when your eyes locked, and as they got to know you, and even to this day, they still feel like there is some sort of connection. This could be somebody from your past. This could be somebody that you met in your childhood or in your youth when you were younger, or you just feel like that you make this person feel like very comforted in your presence, like a soulmate, just like a past life soulmate, like somebody that they've known for a long time, somebody that feels like family. Some of you could actually be parents, and if you are, they feel like that is a strength that you possess. Some of you could even have been a little parental towards this person, but not necessarily, or you guys were like caring and protective towards one another. I'm getting to that you're the type of person that can be friends with your lover, with your partner, or you have a lot of friends, or the friendships that you do have are intimate, sincere, sweet, genuine. You could be Scorpio, have Scorpio sun, don't have to be, but they feel like you're a sincere kind of person, like really good, ride or die kind of person, that maybe you've been through a lot, but that doesn't change the fact that, you'll still show up for the people you love and care for, and that you have a sensitive heart. Because Molly Grew's energy kind of gives, that scorpionic energy, the energy of a Scorpio who has been through a lot, like a whole lot, but yet still in their heart, there is still that sweetness and that tender little girl or tender little boy inside that still exists despite the hardships of life. And they still can bring that out. Maybe you brought it out in this person, or you brought it out in each other. This person feels like a strength of yours too is that you're nostalgic, like you cherish memories, you recall the good old days. Again, more rose-colored glasses kind of things, but I think it's a good thing if you're using your imagination to perceive things in a better light than maybe they actually played out. Then you're actually rewiring your brain and revising the past to project forward a better future for yourself. So you're using your imagination in a strong and loving and constructive way, and that's, at least according to your person, what they view as a strength of yours, that you have the sense of innocence and childlike joy about you, and that you do tend to remember things that maybe better than what they were, or maybe they were good, and now you fondly remember those things. Maybe you shared those things with this person. Maybe a strength of yours is that you're unforgettable, and you make this person remember the good times that they shared with you. Even if you're still together, you make this person feel inspired to just remember the good old days, remember the past fondly, or what was good about the good about the past. The Six of Cups is also that comforting kind of energy of, you know, the grilled cheese sandwich and the tomato soup, or whatever kind of comfort food that you want to associate it with, or, you know, petting your dog or your cat, or hugging your child, or, you know, things like that. These really comfortable feeling, you know, grandma's beef stew, you know, for example. It's all about, you know, those feel good, comfortable feelings that this person feels like it's a strength of yours that you possess those qualities, and that you share and make other people feel that way. There's a strong bond here, though, to the past, and you could also look younger than your age, and you could just have some sort of a childlike, youthful kind of way about you, innocence, warm, like an inviting smile. Like you could be very playful, very open. Some of you can be a little bit sarcastic, but even in like that comes across in a cute way. I'm getting that as well for some reason with this person. Like they see you with rose-colored glasses and remembering you, you know, for the good things. So they're seeing you through a positive lens. It's not like whatever happened in the situation, they're thinking negatively about you or viewing you negatively. According to the reading so far, it's been great. This person's view of you has been really good, and they're remembering you as being someone open and carefree, and, you know, just you're very gentle, and you could be very expressive. There is something about you that is kind-hearted, sentimental, you know, maybe sentimental about your past, your childhood, or they just picked that up. Maybe the way you dress, maybe what you talk about, your interests, you know, they just could deduce, you know, that you are this way according to them. And so they just, bottom line, feel like you have an emotional depth to you, and that it's rooted in your past in a way that makes you come across as quite experienced and rich, like maybe financially rich, but I'm not really getting that, maybe, but I'm getting more like just rich, like rich. You have layers to you, and you're tender and you're empathetic. It's made you the person that you are. And even though you've been through some stuff, you haven't lost that loving, tender innocence, at least not toward them in their perception. Like they view that as a strength. They feel like you're still showing up genuine to people, that you have a genuine affection, that you reminisce, that you are characterized by maybe a little bit of a longing for the past or for the good old days. Like maybe you feel like the good old days are behind you or something, but really what they see you as just wanting things to be pure and simple, like kind of the way that, you know, some people view their past and their childhood, like, oh, it was such simpler times then, right? So this is how this person is viewing you. And you could work with children, you could be a teacher, or you could just be working like a history teacher, or those could potentially be some of your interests that you have, or this person thinks like of you in that way as just somebody that is nurturing towards like the younger generations, or that would be something that, you know, they think, you know, you would be good at. So I like that for you guys. I'm seeing somebody in a library, like a public library. They're not a teacher, but they're in a public library reading to the kids, or even a bookstore. I think, can you volunteer to do that? I don't even know. But that's kind of how this person sees you. Like you would be someone that'd be good at that. So let's look at the next thing. Now, how does this person view your feelings? So this can be, you know, their view of your feelings toward them, or just like your feelings. And if the reading is resonating, please hit the like button and subscribe. It does support the channel and help to keep me coming back to do more readings for you guys. And again, if you'd like that private reading, the link for $1 for 5 minutes on Keen is down below, as well as my contact information for a video recorded reading. We could even just do like the one question video recorded reading too. Those are pretty popular. They're more affordable, you know, if you're looking for a video recorded reading. But the question is, how does your person of interest view your feelings right now? For those watching group 2, how does their person of interest view the viewer's feelings? Ace of Wands. Okay. Oh, wow. Just a second here. Some of you could be a 9 life path. Could be an 8 life path, 2 life path, 6 life path. Sorry, I go on these little tangents with this. So they feel like you feel like beginning again. Again, that's that energy of something ending, something wrapping up, that lessons have been learned, that something wasn't making someone happy here. And so a change needed to take place that could even have manifested in the form of a split, a breakup, distance of some kind, walking away of some kind, some sort of big change, okay, based in the realization that something isn't working or isn't what it seemed to be. This person feels like, or they see you as feeling like there's a new beginning that is needed, okay? And honestly, I'm getting to that they don't know really what your feelings are right now. They don't know. They're a little confused, but they know that, but they think, they view at least, at the very least, that you want a new beginning, okay? That you want to start a new project, or you want inspiration, or that you are inspired, or that you have started something new, that you are being creative, right? That you are kind of, you've been through something here. Just sticking with the story of the last unicorn that this deck is based on. You know, she's Lady Amalthea here. She's got a unicorn horn, right? She's getting ready. It's like, what is she going to do with that? You know, that horn is magic, and it can do magical feats. It can do magical things. But there's a point that, you know, she wanted to remain human to be with Lear, right? She wanted that highly romantic relationship, right? It's very highly romantic. But it wasn't going to work due to the situation. So she had to wake up to the fact that, you know what, I have to change, right? I have to change. And so it's the end of this like whirlwind romance, this highly romantic relationship, these highly romantic feelings, and it's time to, you know, start anew, right? To start over. And this is how this person is, you know, coming across as viewing your feelings as starting over, okay? And they view you as being, you know, very energetic, and again with the creative, and feeling like you're enthusiastic. So I don't know what kind of renewal has taken place, or you started something new in your life that this person somehow is aware of, but it can be talking about, you know, you wanting to start anew with this person, enter a new cycle with this person, more passionate cycle, or having, you know, to turn over a new leaf or something, to grow something with this person as well. Some of you could be wanting to have a little boy with this person, or have done, but doesn't have to be. That's a specific message, not for everybody. But in terms of how this person is, you know, viewing your feelings, they just kind of view them as that you are very passionate, and you're very ambitious, and that you do have a zest for life, and you want a new beginning, like you want something new. So it could be that, you know, for some of you, you know, you did walk away from this person feels like you are ready for something completely new, maybe outside of them. And some of you, I feel like you would already know that. And it's like your fate is bringing you into a different direction, maybe even to a different relationship, okay? It doesn't mean that you're going to forget about this person forever, or that you're never going to deal with or see each other again. But I do feel like maybe for some of you, you've met someone new, okay? Or this person feels like you want to do that, okay? So they are feeling like, that's especially obviously for people that resonate with this having wrapped up. But, you know, they do feel like, or view your feelings as generally positive, generally like whatever's happened, like you have a can-do attitude, like you can start again, like you're not going to be down and out forever, or you're not going to let things stop you, like you are going to seek new opportunities, new challenges, that you are driven, that's that fiery energy, and that you want to explore possibilities, like you want something new is basically what it is, like you want something new. Okay, if whether that's new in the relationship or new outside of the relationship, okay, that's how, whether it's true or not, that's how they are viewing your feelings about things, okay? So let's look at the emotional connection. I feel like we've got, these are all very emotional cards. How do they view the emotional connection with group 2? How are they viewing the emotional connection with group 2? You got Justice. Somebody could be born in late September. Yeah, somebody could be on the cusp between Virgo and Libra, but don't have to be. It's the energy that's coming through for me. Okay. So the emotional connection, it's not like they're not viewing the emotional connection as being very emotional. they're viewing the emotional connection as being karmic. Not necessarily in the popular description of what a karmic means on a lot of YouTube channels, but in the sense of like you get what you give kind of thing. And that people have to take accountability for their own actions, and that there is a truth, right? And this again, 11 reduces to 2, so we've got that 2 energy again. So maybe this person is, like I said, they don't really know, how you're feeling. They have an idea and they think it's that you want to start over or start something new. So how they view the emotional connection depends on the truth that they see. It's like they're seeking the truth. Okay, they're seeking the truth, and it's like they're seeking it from what they're observing, in whatever way they can observe the situation, in whatever way they can observe you, but also by going within and like listening to their heart and their intuition and really going within and getting the answer that way. So it's not a simple plain answer with this. This person's viewing the emotional connection through their mind and through their intuition, with a heavy emphasis on viewing the emotional connection through the mind and through what feels right, like what's the right decision to make here. Okay, so and it can be too talking about, that this is how they're viewing you, is in terms of like how you show up in the emotional connection, as maybe you're wanting, your pound of flesh, so to speak, or you're wanting things to be done right. You're wanting accountability to take place. You're wanting a decision to be made, the right decision to be made. You're wanting, ethics, equality, all the things we associate with the justice, integrity. So this is the energy of doing the right thing. Okay, so being balanced, and we did see that earlier with the 2 of Cups. 2 is also about balance. It's about decision making, but also about balance. And so at the very beginning of this person met you and felt like you guys kind of like shared the same sort of feeling with regard to things being harmonious, things being balanced. And now this person is, perceiving the emotional connection is still being about, being balanced, but maybe regaining balance, or maybe looking at it from a more logical standpoint as opposed to an emotional standpoint. When you first met, it was all like romanticism and emotion and attraction, and now it's more about what's the right thing to do here, what's the choice that has the most integrity, that kind of thing. Okay, they're wanting, or they're perceiving, maybe you're wanting that, you're wanting things to be balanced and fair, okay, just. And so yeah, they're kind of just looking at the emotional connection through their rationale, being, objective and kind of detached. And that is a way that they can be fair, or that maybe, this is how it has to be. Your emotional connection is about, being detached in order to see the situation fairly and to make a dispassionate judgment or decision about it, that is clear-headed, and calm and sound and unbiased and objective, right? It's real strong emphasis on making like the right and ethical kind of decision here. So that's the emotional connection, how they view that. So what is their overall perception of you in the relationship or outside or both? What does group 2 need to know about their person of interest perception of them? I'm gonna make sure it's one card. Yeah. I love you. I love, blah, 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 blah. This person, they perceive you as, or overall as a lover. You could be a Gemini, don't have to be. It begs the question, who is the tree and who is Schmendrick the magician on this card? This is such a funny card. There's another card that's more romantic that looks more like the 2 of Cups, but this is such a funny scene in the movie that, I just have to honor it and use it in my deck. So it's so cute. To me, I think it's hilarious. But overall, they perceive you as a wise person and someone with whom they have a spiritual connection, a powerful spiritual connection with. I think this person thinks that there's something magical about this connection, something otherworldly. Again, like they still perceive you the same way that they did when they first met you, and that is as a soulmate, like someone that they have some sort of connection with that is highly romantic, special and unusual, and that feels deeply connected in some way, whether they understand, fully what that is, whether you understand fully what that is or not. That's how they're perceiving you. Okay. So they really feel like, again, they still perceive you as the Two of Cups, but even one step higher, one step further, right? With the Lover's energy. So it would indicate that you have had a really lovely relationship with this person at some point. That if there have been problems with, let's face it, a lot of people in relationships do, and when you seek a reading, there's usually because you're looking for answers to help with problems. Whatever's happened, though, this person, their feelings and how they see you has not changed. It's actually gotten stronger, more concentrated. It's like I still think what I thunk before kind of vibe, except even more. I like that. I'm a poet. I still think what I thunk before, and even more. That's how this person perceives you, that you are maybe opposites, but that you guys complement each other very well. And there's this divine masculine, divine feminine coming together, yin and yang energy, regardless of sexes. That's the energy that they perceive as well with you. You are attractive. This person thinks you're extremely attractive, extremely, extremely appealing, that you draw people toward you, that you have an engaging personality, that you're beautiful, that you're handsome, that you maybe are complex, complicated, maybe the situation's complicated. But again, they view you as, like I said before, their first impression was that you were somebody with high emotional intelligence, able to navigate complex human relationships, whether we're talking about, whatever kind of relationship it is, they perceived you as being somebody that could handle that in like a way that others can't. They still perceive you that way, but even to the next level. So I don't know what you do for a living or why this person would think that. Maybe you are in some sort of field that requires a lot of like HR, or like you have a partner in a business, or you work with a lot of people, like you're the ombudsman, the go-between, the counselor or something, school counselor. Who knows what it is, but they feel like you are, they still feel like you can bring together different perspectives and have an open mind and see things from different points of view, okay? And maybe you're doing that with this person, or have done, with that justice energy. But they still feel the love. Like they still feel like you're loving. If they ever loved you, they still do. And we saw that they did for most of you. Like if this is truly a reading, this Two of Cups energy, it's like love at first sight. So, and was it just completely rose-colored glasses? This is our answer. No, it was not. This person still loves you. They still find you very charismatic, very attractive, that somebody that draws others to them, whether you want to or not, you just naturally do. And you're very warm, you're very inviting, that you are, like two sides of the same coin in terms of being like very strong, but also very sensitive. And that you carry yourself in a way that's, just kind of captivating and attractive, approachable and likable and appealing. So I don't know if you wanted to be these things. If you think you don't, like, that's not you and whatever, you don't think that this person thinks that, well, they do, or choose a different group. But this is what's coming through here. Claim the reading, because this is a great reading in terms of how this person perceives you. It's very good, like, especially if this is a romantic person, but even if it's like a business partner or friend, they do feel like, this is a deep friendship, and this is a deep spiritual connection. And even if you're lovers or in a relationship, a romantic one, that this still has like elements of a very deep friendship, deep spiritual connection. Okay. So I'm really liking, I just want to point out that it's kind of, well, it is rare to have the Two of Cups and the Lovers come out in the same reading. I've only pulled 5 cards, and we've got like the Two of Cups and the Lovers. My other readers will understand, the significance of that. It's a beautiful thing. And I feel like this thing has had its ups and downs over, centuries in other alternative realities, aka past lives. And so there is that deep connection happened for a reason. Okay, I feel like to this person, an element of them, since we exist in many different realms, is a guardian angel to you, or vice versa. You're each other's guardian angels, okay? And or was that way, it was that way in another life, if you want to put it that way. But their overall perception of you is just amazing, and that, you know, they feel like you do have a very strong, you know, deep spiritual connection together. They still perceive it that way. And then we've got the Six of Cups underneath there too, talking again about having known each other, feeling like you've known each other forever, feeling like a really sweet, tender connection with one another, and maybe potentially even having had children. Some of you could be divorcing or have divorced this person, or there's distance again, like I said before. It doesn't have to be that, you know, just take it how it resonates, but this is what's coming through for group 2. Thanks, group 2, for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It does support the channel and keep me coming back to do more readings for you guys. And if you'd like that private reading, my contact information is down below for a video recorded one. Otherwise, it is still $1 for 5 minutes over on Keen. I'm going to take it to group 3. Stick around if you'd like to. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys next time. I love you. Love, 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 love. All right. What's the next deck I should use? Oh. All right, group 3, thanks for tuning into your reading. So you chose You're Cute, okay? The bubble sticker, You're Cute. We're going to get started. And in light of that, I'm going to go ahead and use this cute little deck here that I have. So, disclaimer, my readings are meant to provide clarity, guidance, and the focus will be on your best interest, even if it's not what you expect, okay? And we're going to look at, you know, how this person views you. So your person of interest, the one on your mind that, you know, you're here for. And we're going to start off with their first impression, how they view you when they first met you. Then we're going to see how they view your strengths. We're going to see how they view your feelings, how they view the emotional connection, if there is one, and, you know, their overall perception of you. So we're going to start with that first part, first impression. So go ahead and think about your person of interest, the one you came to the reading for, or if you're just here in general to see like what people might be thinking about you in general. That can work too, but then it's more up to you to decide, you know, how it fits. Some of you could be a Sagittarius or dealing with somebody with that strong in their chart. I'm also getting Taurus moon energy or Taurus. Both of those are generous energies. The energies I'm picking up, you know. Whoa. Okay, so we're going to get started with first impression. So this person's first impression towards group 3. Like, how did they perceive group 3 when they first met them? I'm feeling guided to split this again. I think some more earth sign energy. Sun in Capricorn, material power. Maybe you guys met at work, school, or there was some sort of impression of wealth or something along those lines. We've got the sun. Okay, sun wanted to come out. We'll honor the sun. That is Leo energy, so it's very positive. So this person's first impression of you was very positive, that you were quite abundant, or just giving off the impression like, you know, that you're just you're pleasure seeking, you're positive, you're happy, that you maybe had a very big smile, like I'm drawn to the sun there. You could have been with children or playing, because we associate this card with like playing. So regardless of the setting that you were in, you came across as a light, according to this person. Like you came across as kind of singular in your happiness. I'm getting like material abundance, even if you know, didn't have material abundance, you know, you appeared that way. You just appeared happy. Like, you know, that this was like you were a successful person, or like you were going to get what you wanted, that you were someone that was, yeah, kind of focused on yourself, but in a good way, in a way that meant that you really nurtured and took care of yourself. Because regardless of what was going on in your life when you met this person, they just saw you as a light, right? And somebody that's very warm and engaging and happy. And so they figured like they could have made all kinds of assumptions about you as a result of that. We see somebody that's very happy and having fun and joyful and things, then we can perceive, oh, this person, must have an easier life. Or maybe, they have more money or they're more successful or whatever, right? It gives the impression that what is this person doing differently than the rest of us that they're so happy? So that's how it's coming across. I mean, maybe you weren't like radiating, a ton of happiness in your opinion. This is how they perceived you, though, as somebody that's radiant, someone that's full of life, somebody that brings joy to the people around you. Again, just like a light in a room. Maybe the room was dark and dingy, and then you came in, and this person perceived you as a light, right? Light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, something like that. So also this person felt like, you were somebody that had an infectious energy, that you just brightened the darkest of days, that you brought out, the positivity within them. Like maybe they were feeling low, maybe they were feeling down, maybe they were feeling burdened, and then here you are, and you were an inspiration to be more optimistic. Like your happiness, your goodness kind of rubbed off on this person, that you were just bright and vibrant, could have even dressed bright and vibrant, or your makeup or something about you just gave off that energy of being very warm. Could have just been, again, I'm drawn to your smile. Maybe you have very bright eyes, very smiley, all the things we think of when we're thinking of a high vibrational Leo, if you know what I'm talking about. So you could have looked very healthy to this person, just very expressive, very enthusiastic. Physically, there's something about you that was inviting, like engaging, like you were inclusive. You weren't a snob, you weren't cliquish, you were like just a bright, happy person, just very open, almost childlike as well. That you were, again, everything we think of with the Sun card, for those who know about the tarot, that just cheerful, optimistic, uplifting, just having a natural ability to inspire and motivate others. You could have been a motivational speaker, or maybe you're practicing to be one because you came across that way. Like whatever you said impressed this person on this first impression. Like whatever you did, however you presented yourself, felt warm to this person, very charismatic. Like you could see the best in the situation, at least according to them. Now, I don't know if they're like a total negative Nelly, and maybe you're like, I'm just a neutral person. I'm not terribly, motivational or inspiring or warm or exciting or whatever. I'm not terribly positive, but yet maybe this person was just feeling really low that day, or, somebody like they saw you as, again, that light at the end of the tunnel, that you were somebody that took charge too, because this is like leadership energy. So giving off like creative leadership vibes. Maybe you were in a position of leadership, coming across as having a natural confidence about you. But if you are a Leo, or you have those traits of the Sun, then you already are naturally confident, because thinking positive and feeling good and allowing and taking good care of yourself to such an extent that you can't help but radiate healthy, positive, good vibes to other people, and that can't help but rub off, because you're loving yourself, so it's reflected by the universe. And so as a result of that, you will be more confident, and you will have a stronger sense of self than other people who don't do that. So this person perceived that, okay? They saw you as magnetic, somebody that, they were drawn to. And maybe you are a very social person, because we see like little flowers in the sun. See how they all have faces? And the traditional tarot, we don't have that, right? But here, this gives off more of a social vibe. But the sun can mean, and does mean, like being a social person as well, or having a natural ability to shine in social situations. So I really feel like there were other people around when you met, and that you made people smile and made them happy, and your energy just made them happy, and that you were kind of like entertaining or charismatic, just very giving an uplifting kind of feeling to this person, when you first met. So that was their impression of you, how they saw you and viewed you when you first met. So let's look at your strengths, how your person perceives your strengths right now. How does Group 1's person perceive Group 1's strengths right now? Group 3's person. Did I say Group 3? I hope I said Group 3. How does Group 3's person perceive Group 3's strengths right now? There you go. Da, 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 da. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. You could be starting something new. You could be getting out there, communicating. Maybe you've had recent communication with this person, or this person could be watching you. They could be reaching out to communicate with you. But this is about this is how this person's perceiving you. It's that kind of vibrant, youthful, Page of Swords energy. So you could have strong air in your chart as well with this. So does this person perceive you as, they perceive you as curious too. That's how they're perceiving you, as like your strength is that you're a curious person. The thing with the Page of Swords is always ready to be a student again. Like all throughout your life, you're never done learning. And some people, fight against that or resist that, but you don't. You embrace that. That's how this person sees this. Like you happily embrace things. And yeah, you kind of learn, like monkey see, monkey do, learn from watching other people. If you're watching this person from a distance, they might know that you're watching this person from a distance, okay? Just putting that out there. But they are... they don't mind that because they're seeing that as a strength, because you're willing to watch and learn is what I'm getting. I'm hearing watch and learn. So you're curious, okay? You also are good at socializing, good at speaking as well. Like you could be a networker in some way. Like this person is perceiving you as being maybe a networker, somebody that talks to others, somebody that keeps an eye out. Like I think this person thinks that that it's hard to pull something over on you, whether they would want to or not. I don't know. We'll see what else comes out, but that it would be hard to pull something over on you because you are observant. Like you're not just, this Pollyanna kind of person that just, misses the truth about things or, just goes along with anything. Like you have a certain amount of skepticism to you that this person perceives, like, and they see that as a strength, that you're smart. But not only are you smart, but you're willing to be a student. You're willing to be bad at something until you're good at it. That's what it means to, be a student, and that's what it takes to really learn and master new skills. So maybe what that's pertaining to, like what new skills are you mastering? Is this just talking about, talking to this person again or starting a new cycle with this person again? But it does feel like it's related to something else besides that. And it does show that this person sees you as, as your strengths, as being somebody that is, willing to practice, willing to learn, and that I think that's a great trait. You're willing to humble yourself, enough to be a student, to put in the effort to learn, and you're willing to talk to people, network, and get information, and observe and use your head. You're not all just a good time Charlie, having a great time all the time. But you're also somebody that is trying, like you get out there and you'll try something, and you'll put your mind to it, and you'll do it. And I think that this person's saying like that they view that as a strength, that you're curious, that you're ready to quick-witted. You could be, a quick talker. No, I'm channeling quick talking energy right now. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But right now, what's coming through is this person thinks that you're just very smart, very quick-witted. You could be witty, make witticisms, little jokes, things, I don't know. Just that you have to with that youthful energy, regardless of your age. Like you could be on the younger side or younger than this person, but you don't have to be. It's the energy of youthfulness. The main thing I think is that this person thinks that, you have a thirst for knowledge, and that's what keeps you going. I'm getting like Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, but lots of Gemini energy here, regardless of what Page of Swords is really about, whatever sign is associated. I don't think there's a specific sign associated with the Page of Swords. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, yeah, it's not coming to me if there is, but that's the there like alert, agile, like observant, intelligent. You ask questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question except for the one that you don't ask, but you're willing to ask a question. A lot of people won't ask a question because they don't want to appear stupid. But really, the only one they're cheating in that case would be themselves, right? You're, according to your person, you will ask a question. You want to learn. So you don't give the vibe of I'm being nosy or something like that. Maybe some of you can be a little bit, but that's not how this person's perceiving it. They see you as collecting information that will be youthful. Yeah, that's that youthful thing again, but useful to you in some way, because you want to learn. You're coming from a place of true curiosity, true interest, right? There's a difference between just being straight up nosy and being truly interested in someone or curious about something. So that is something that's coming through too. And they just feel like, I'm drawn to the eyes, so you could have very expressive, but also just kind of wide-eyed and bushy-tailed a little bit. very perceptive, okay, and that they can see, like, regardless of what your eyes look like, even if you have little eyes, like, for example, they will see, like, that means you have an active mind. Like, they can tell that you've got the wheels turning, right? That you're mentally sharp. You could be a bit impulsive. Both of these cards can talk about that. And you do like, intellectual challenges, debates. Like, you'd be somebody that would go tit for tat and like a playful little, I don't want to say argument, but like a little debate, kind of thing with someone. Maybe you've done that with this person, or they've seen you do it with other people, or you remind them of someone like that. But it's coming from a playful place, right? Really the main takeaway I feel like with this is, just how agile your mind is, and maybe even your body as well. So how flexible his legs are there. But you're agile and you like to learn, and you have a sharp mind, and this person views all of those things as strengths. Okay. So let's look at how they view your feelings at the moment. How does Group 3's person view Group 3's feelings at the moment? So this could mean how they view your feelings towards them, or just in general. Let's see. So let's just say, how does Group 3's person view Group 3's feelings toward them? Really? We've got the Nine of Pentacles. Why is the Nine of Pentacles looking mad here? This isn't an angry card. This is not an angry card. But that's kind of funny in this deck. So are we taking that in the upright? Yeah, we're taking the upright. Okay. So Nine of Pentacles. And how they view your feelings toward them. So the Nine of Pentacles is somebody in their single power. This is somebody that is doing well for themselves, usually financially as well as just in general. They can be an entrepreneur, work from home, or just they are the queen or king of their castle. Okay? So if you guys are in a relationship, you feel like you're single. Okay? If you're not in a relationship and you're single, they perceive you as being single, but not in a sad way. They perceive you as being abundant. That's less money to spend on a date because you've got all these pentacles around you. You are doing well for yourself, whether you are or whether you're not, whether you're the man or whoever that would pay for the date or not. That's my point, is that this person is viewing you as experiencing some sort of a luxury. Some sort of like that you're self-sufficient, that whatever you have in abundance, that you have given it to yourself. And that, again, you can't deny that there's some sort of financial gain that this person perceives that you have. And that's likely maybe as a result of not having children or not having a spouse, or if you do have children, just maybe have a good job or, whatever. So that's how they perceive you with this Nine of Pentacles. They perceive that you feel that way. So if you don't feel that way, maybe you're like, well, I feel like my person is the one that's doing well for themselves. They're single, they, as such, all the resources go toward them and they don't have to spend it on a family or a spouse. Okay, yeah, it can go that way as well. You decide, it's your reading, so just apply it how it resonates. But I do feel like this person is feeling like, okay, I am getting a message that this person is feeling like you feel that, they're single, or even if they're in a relationship, they still kind of act like they're single, and that maybe, they're able to provide you with things, right? They can provide you with a nice date or gifts, or show you a nice, like, luxurious time, or on paper, on paper, the relationship can seem kind of ideal or very romantic, or like everybody's doing everything right, maybe even like being courted traditionally speaking, or those traditional dating things are done, but that maybe the emotional connection isn't really there. That can be too. Maybe the emotional connection isn't really there, like they can perceive you feeling that. Maybe the emotional connection isn't really there, but that somebody is affluent, somebody is self-sufficient, likes the finer things in life, is financially independent, is doing well for themselves, is accomplished, has worked hard to achieve, a certain level of comfort and luxury that they now enjoy. So if that doesn't sound like you, then maybe that part of the reading is not for you, or maybe, you should look into your person. They perceive you as somebody who is observant, so maybe you've observed that this person appears that way, regardless of their relationship status, that they come across as, they feel like, your feelings are that, you know, that they are looking good, right? And they feel like you are looking good, like you're well groomed, you're elegant, you give off these vibes of being, you know, well off. Maybe you dress very nice. Somebody here is of that. So it depends on who's watching. And the third group is usually kind of a mix of the first two groups and other elements. So you decide again, you know, who this is, but that's what's coming through, that this person perceives your feelings as feeling like, you know, high quality, feeling like, you know, you like the finer things in life, that you're, you know, you're feeling good about yourself, that you take care of yourself, that you are somebody that's looked at as stylish, as sophisticated, or you, again, look at that person that way. It's going to depend on how it fits for you. But there's this energy too of confidence, of independence, of, I do feel like, you know, for many of you, that is the case, and how this person feels that you feel is that you're somebody that can take pleasure in your achievements and in your possessions and in your things that you have, you know, because you did come across first impression as the sun. And so remember what I was saying, that this person kind of at that time thought, you know, what do you have going on and what are you doing differently that other people aren't doing, because you appear to be more positive, optimistic, and happy than other people. And maybe, you know, that could have stretched to them thinking that maybe you came from money, or that you did well for yourself, or in some way, shape, or form, you're just doing well for yourself. And the Nine of Pentacles would back that up in saying that, you know, this person still perceives you as feeling like, you know, you're accomplished, that you're self-sufficient, that you enjoy comforts, that you enjoy pleasures, and that whatever you do, you know, you're doing well at it, and that you're good at it. And it could be in a creative field, it could be in business, it doesn't matter really, it could be in both, you know, but that you are pursuing or have pursued your passions, and that you have accomplished something, and that you feel like, you know, you have accomplished things, and that you are in an era where things are more graceful and easier for you. Okay, I'm getting some Libra and Taurus vibes here as well, so it could be in somebody's strong chart strongly. That could be an indication or clue as to what this is talking about. But this person feels like you've worked hard and you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, like you're experiencing satisfaction and achieving your goals, right? So that's how this person is perceiving, you know, your feelings, and that you feel this way, right? So let's see, toward yourself or them, like I said. So the emotional connection. How does this person perceive the emotional connection, if there is one between the two of you? Sometimes there isn't much to say there, but maybe there is a nice, strong emotional connection between the two of you. And anyway, what, like, how do they look at that? How do they view that emotional connection? No, that's way too many. Somebody could be missing you, somebody could be down and out, somebody could be doing better than the other, like way better than the other, like especially materially or financially, but also emotionally too. Or that's how this person's looking at it. So there's that. But how do they perceive the emotional connection with group 3? Yeah, see what I was saying? Some sort of emotional loss here. Okay? You know, some sort of emotional loss here. You could have turned over a new leaf. You could have started again, whether you have or you haven't. The question is, how do they perceive the emotional connection? That there's been some sort of 5 of Cups experience here. There's been some sort of a loss, okay? It's interesting that this guy on this card is looking into the mirror. And I did talk about that Nine of Pentacles energy being an individuated energy, talking about a specific person who is like really focused on themselves. And that's kind of like reflecting that. So somebody here is really focused on themselves, or maybe this person feels like, you know, you're not focused on them as much, or as much as they would like. And as a result of that, you know, the relationship has experienced a loss. Like there's been hurt feelings, there's been disappointment, or you feel that way, like this person is too focused on themselves. And as a result of that, you know, there has been a loss in this connection. There has been some sort of disappointment. But I think that's undeniable with that picture, and I love when the cards really show, you know, what I'm talking about here, and elaborate and let us know what the story is. With this, is it's nice to, that's why it's nice to use different decks of cards, you know, because they can tell things just slightly differently. But when it comes to the emotional connection, I mean, there's unfortunately no way to really sugarcoat. The Five of Cups isn't a terrible, like the worst card you can get, but it's not a happy card either, right? It's a card of disappointment. So there is this person is perceiving the emotional connection with you as something that has experienced loss. There is regret here. There is sadness here, okay? And it does look like this person is regretting whatever they feel that they've lost with you, okay? They are focusing on what they don't have with you, what they've lost, and they can't even be like dwelling on the past or past disappointments. So if things are good with you, then it can be talking about, focusing on, the past, dwelling on the past, some other sadness or disappointment they experienced. So as a result of this, person feels like they're unable to see the potential for a change, for recovery, for, positive change in the relationship. And they're really kind of fixated, and that's what this card is about, is being fixated on what's gone wrong or what could go wrong, okay? I feel like, I think this person, somebody here could have had it all with somebody, like marriage, stability, deep commitment, and just a really happy life. And they are realizing that they could have had that, and they don't have it anymore, or it isn't what they thought it would be. Like they've experienced some sort of wake-up call. Somebody's experienced a wake-up call. Like maybe you didn't wait around for this person. For example, for some of you, you wanted more, or the relationship just wasn't going the way that you wanted, or something like that. And this person perceives that as being like, somebody is just like doesn't care anymore, and I'm getting Aquarius energy as well, and is instead like had a wake-up call and decided to do what's best for them, and that's it, right? And as a result, it's like, oh no, you're doing what's best for you, so you're not really focusing on me, and that means that I'm sad now because you're not focusing on me. But that's just one scenario. A lot of different people watch, so just take it how it resonates. But if we're just sticking to how they view the emotional connection, then it's pretty basic. It's about mourning. It's about sadness. It's about, feeling, despair, sadness about it. And, just this is some sort of, there's some mirroring going on of inner turmoil. So it's like the situation manifested as a result of there being inner turmoil, or maybe a lack of belief on some level that one could have the happiness that they really wanted with someone. So it just feels like there's no other way to really say it. Like this person basically perceives this as the connection as being something that's just overshadowed by a sense of sadness. Okay, so there's some lingering sadness around this connection, overshadowing it, making it difficult to move on or move past the hurts that occurred or that have occurred. Yeah, so let's look at the overall perception of you, how this person perceives group 3. Yeah, they perceive that you have healed, okay, and that you have manifested something else for yourself. You're in the process of recovering. The Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is about heartache and a split. So whether that's happened or not with this person, this is about a new beginning, because we've got the Three of Swords on the wall, and then we've got the One Sword, or Ace of Swords here on the side. So it's like meditating on, how to have a new beginning and get what you want, right? Meditating on your next steps in order to get what you want. And that may or may not include this person according to them. So they're perceiving you with that Four of Swords, air sign energy. Yeah. So it's Jupiter and Libra. So if we can think of Jupiter as the planet of expansion, doing things big, and Libra is an energy of harmony and justice. So it's like you're trying to do what makes you feel balanced and good, and what is the right thing for you to do. So you're focused on that as how they perceive it. So again, that's kind of a vote for, the Nine of Pentacles energy being about, you, focusing on you and doing what's right and best for you, and just really kind of, not worrying maybe too much about this person, or things that this person thinks you should be worried about. It is that energy of that, okay? So they are perceiving you as somebody that, just needs some rest. Maybe this person is just very tiring. Maybe whatever you do is very tiring. If you're a student, or if you're learning something new, if you're running your own business, or, just even having a good old time, it can be tiring. Everybody needs to rest sometimes. You come across as very vital according to this person. So maybe you just need some rest, some recuperation, a pause. Maybe you're in a pause, from this person, or you feel they perceive you as somebody with whom they're on a pause, and meaning that it's not over, but it's just on a pause. Or maybe you're taking a pause from life's battles. And you just need a time out, a moment to catch your breath, to regain your strength so that you can, you know, live to fight another day, whether it's with this person or it isn't. So that's how they perceive you, as being, you know, distant from them, have gone within to take that rest, to get to a meditative place. Maybe you've taken up such practices, but I feel like it's for your own betterment, for your own good. C is on the card, resting there to reflect on the fact that he didn't die in the battle, but why not him when others did? And also he wants to go to the next step, so he has to go to, I think it is the bishop or something. I don't remember the exact story behind the Four of Swords, but he needs to go to someone and give them their plan, somebody in authority, and give them his plan, and then get validation for that, in order to move forward, maybe to the knighthood or whatever it is. He still needs to do something, like he's on a quest, and this person feels like you are as well, but that you're taking a time out, and like you are relaxing and you're going within, and that you're seeking peace, harmony, and balance in your life. And so that you can come back to like a balanced place and equilibrium, and in order to kind of just like counterbalance whatever, you know, has rocked your world, or whatever struggles or challenges you're going through in this relationship or otherwise. So that's how they're perceiving you. That's what I've got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Group 3, I appreciate you guys. If you'd like a private reading, my contact information is down below for a video recorded reading. Also, it's $1 for 5 minutes on Keen if you wanted to check that out, linked down below. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and hit the like button so I can come back and keep doing you guys more readings. And I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you next time.